And you will be my witnesses. This is Jesus speaking to his disciples just prior to his ascension into heaven. The last thing that he says to them before he goes into heaven is this: you will be my witnesses, telling people about me everywhere. In Jerusalem, throughout Judea, in Samaria, and to the very ends of the earth. Invite the kids down front for our time together. It's been a long time since I had this map out. Does anybody here even recognize this? What is this, Steve? Good. And I'm going to give you the pin when it's time. And you'll put it on. So today, I want to talk to you about a country named Korea. Does anybody know where Korea is? Where is it? Point it out on the map. No, not in Africa. You know where it is? Asia. Where at in Asia? Do you know? Do you know where China is? Find China. Do you see it? China is purple on this map. That's Australia. It's above that. That's pretty close. There you go. That's China. And Korea is a peninsula. You know what a peninsula is? What's a peninsula? It's a strip of land that shoots out like a finger into the water. Okay? So I want you to look at China, and I want you to find a strip of land that's in that purple that shoots out like a finger. Good. That's Korea. Now, can you read the little tag here? What does that say? South Korea and North Korea. Korea was divided over 50 years ago, a long, long time ago. Around 50 years ago, Korea was divided into two countries, North and South Korea. And these two countries are just about as different as countries get, except that they speak the same language. North Korea is a communist country, and nobody in that country is allowed to be a Christian. Could you imagine if the government said, if you are a Christian, we'll put you in jail? That's what they do in North Korea. And if you don't change your mind and become not a Christian, they may even torture you or kill you. In North Korea, that's what they do. They hate Christians so much they don't want anybody to be a Christian. North Korea, from 1994 to 2000, experienced a terrible, terrible famine. You know what a famine is? What's a famine? You have very bad weather, and so you can't get very much food, right? And over 3 million people died of starvation in those 6 years. And you know what? It hasn't gotten much better since that time. I don't know exactly how many people have died in the last 8 years, but I know North Korea is in a very bad situation. Some of the people in North Korea don't even know. He said, do you know Jesus? They wouldn't even know who Jesus was. But there are a couple of ways that we're trying to reach out to North Korea. We can broadcast radio waves into North Korea, and they can hear it if they have a radio. They can hear people teaching about Jesus. Chinese people, they can go into North Korea. The problem is not too many Chinese people who will tell North Koreans about Jesus. But there are some. And so some Chinese are going in and telling people about Jesus. And South Korea. South Korea, remember that other country that's the other half of North Korea? They're praying very, very much for many, many years. Probably many years even before you were born, and probably some years before I was born. They've been praying for North Korea. And they've been preparing to go into North Korea. You see, South Korea has so many Christians. It may, in fact, be the most Christian country in the world. Isn't that strange? That one half of the country, nobody's allowed to be a Christian, and the other half of the country, they have more Christians than any other country in the world? At least as far as the population, like as many, because they don't have as many people as we have, but for their population, they have a very high percentage of Christians. The South Koreans are also very known for their prayer. They pray a lot. Every day their churches have prayer meetings that start at sunrise or before. and go for at least an hour or more. And a lot of people that are members of the church are expected to go to those prayer meetings every day. Could you imagine if your mom and dad got you up before school, an hour before school, before you needed to get up for school, and brought you here to church to pray for an hour? That'd be pretty tough, huh? But that's how important it is to the Koreans, the South Koreans, to pray. They're a very praying people. So South Korea has a lot of food. Economically, they're very strong. They have money. They have food. They're very well situated like that. So they're about as different as they can get, these two countries. So today, I want to pray, especially for North Korea, and thank God for the work that He's doing in South Korea. And then we're going to add a pin to our ongoing prayer ministry in the hopes that one day that we will cover all the countries in the whole world. So will you guys pray with me for Korea? Will you repeat after me? Dear God, thank you so much for the people of South Korea and their faith in you. We ask you to help them as they teach people about you and as they prepare to go to North Korea. And we pray for North Korea that you will help them to find food and to find Jesus, because we know you love them. In Jesus' name, amen. You want to push the pin in? You have to push real hard. It's hard to get through the cardboard. Oh, you did it. Good job. Good job, everyone. Thank you very much.